Hey guys, it's Melissa here from melissaoatman.com. Welcome to Awaken Your Inner Awesomeness, a daily podcast devoted to spirituality and self-help. If you're new, I want to welcome you. If you're returning, welcome back. So today I wanted to talk to you about a few of the archangels. I recently asked my members of my Facebook page what topics they would like to hear for my podcast, because I want to really best support all of you and help you to learn and grow as much as possible. So sometimes, I ask what topics do my listeners need to hear about, and of course I'm given guidance, but I also think it's a great idea just to ask you directly, what do you want to hear about? Because I want this to be a podcast you enjoy listening to, not one where you're like, oh, another topic with, the same thing. So I asked, what topics would you like to hear about? How can I best support you during this time? And one of my listeners asked to hear about the Ascended Masters and the Archangels more. And I love that because we can work with them and they can help us so much in our lives. And it's important. And I have done previous episodes about different archangels, but I always think that it's good to hear about them again because we forget, and even I forget. And there have been times when I've worked really closely with the archangels and then I get away from that sometimes, and then it's an important reminder to me even that, hey, we can call on our entire spiritual team. And there are angels out there who are just dying to work with us. They want to help us, but we have to call them in. So I thought that what I would do is just take a couple of archangels for each episode and kind of break it down for you. And the same with the Ascended Masters. So today I am going to be talking to you about Archangel Ariel, Archangel Azrael, and Archangel Chamuel. So the first angel I want to talk to you about is Archangel Ariel. Now, Ariel is most associated with nature and with animals and Mother Earth. So she is an angel of our planet's natural resources. She ensures the proper treatment of people as well as animals as part of her mission. So she works to ensure that there's enough healthful food, clean water, proper shelter, and other necessary supplies. So you can call on her to help you in meeting your earthly needs. Now, Ariel comes in a beautiful, soft green light energy, so you may be seeing like green when you work with her. She is very calming and relaxing, so she's very good to work with if you're trying to balance your energy and if you're trying to ground yourself. So if you've ever gone to a spiritual healer and they tell you, oh, you need to ground yourself, or you get that message, like if you pull cards for yourself, and it tells you that you need to be grounded, then Archangel Ariel is the perfect archangel to work with you. She can help us deepen our connection to Earth, and she helps us to get grounded and maintain a strong, supportive connection to nature. She can also deepen our connections to plants and animals. So if you are someone who's trying to grow plants and it just isn't working, if you're like me and you have a black thumb instead of a green thumb, you can call on Archangel Ariel to help you take care of these plants and to deepen your connection with them. Same way if you have animals and if you have pets and you want to connect on a deeper level to your pets, you can call on Archangel Ariel to help you do that. She's also a really good archangel to call on when you're trying to manifest something, because remember that when we manifest, it's all about our energy being grounded and we are vibrating at a very high energy frequency. So Archangel Ariel helps us to get grounded. So if you're hoping to manifest and receive abundance, you have to be grounded and connected to the earth, because we're supported by both spiritual energy and then also the physical earth around us. So when you get grounded, that's when you are more easily able to manifest your desires. So if you're trying to manifest, call on Archangel Ariel. She helps you to feel very calm and lets you know that everything's going to be all right. So if you're feeling stressed or worried, you can call on her to help you calm down and to soothe you. As soon as you call on her, you will be able to feel the difference in your energy. You'll be able to feel the shift right away. She comes in as a very calming presence. And anytime you connect with the archangels, you'll notice that there's a swift change in your energy. You'll feel it. Because they can immediately come in and they connect their energy to yours, and that's how your energy is raised. They help you by shifting and raising your vibration. But what a lot of people keep forgetting is we have to tell them, we have to call on them, we have to ask them to come in. Because even though they may want to help us, in fact, they do want to help us, they cannot intervene unless we ask them to. So you may be thinking, where are my angels? Why do I feel so alone here? Well, have you called on them? Because you have to call on them and specifically ask what you need help with. So for Archangel Ariel, if you are going to go out for a walk in nature, you can call on her to be present with you and to give you guidance. If you're meditating or journaling, you can call on her, especially if you're going to sit down and write your intentions for manifesting. And every time you can do manifesting anytime, but when we have full moons and super moons, there's just more energetic power there. So I always suggest setting your intentions before a full moon or a new moon or a super moon. And when you do that, you can call on Archangel Ariel to be with you as you're writing your intentions. So that will help you open up to a bigger flow of abundance in your life. Because again, you have to get grounded, and she can help you to do that. So if you're hoping to manifest, connect with nature, or you just want to be grounded and feel less stressed and feel soothed, call on Archangel Ariel. And again, she comes in with a green light. So if you may notice that you have, what I usually have happened to me is that I'll see like the sparkles of the color out of the corner of my eye. You may notice that, or you may notice that when you're working with her, you take pictures, you may notice that there's an orb or something of that color in your picture. Okay, and so the next archangel is Archangel Azrael. Oh, I should tell you also, if you want to work with her, the crystal that you can also use to connect with her is rose quartz. Okay, so then we have Archangel Azrael. Azrael is known as the angel of death, but don't think of it as the Grim Reaper. That's not what he is. He's beautiful and healing angel, and he helps those souls who are getting ready to cross over. He helps them to cross over, and he also helps in all areas of loss, death, and transition. So if you've had a heavy heart because of grief, you can call on Archangel Azrael. And I think that this is something that a lot of people, they just see him as crossing people over, but there's so much more to it. I mean, that is one of the things that he does. So if you, for example, have a loved one who's in hospice and getting ready to transition into the afterlife, you can call on Archangel Azrael to assist in their transformation, to assist in their transition into the afterlife, to make it easier for them. And I love that. I love when people do that. And I've heard so many different stories where people were, on hospice, they were getting ready to die, and they were just holding on and holding on. And loved ones finally had to call on the archangels to come and get them, and then say to their loved one, it's okay to let go. Because the human side of us wants to hold on and make sure our loved ones are being taken care of. We want to make sure we haven't left anything unsaid. So it's up to us sometimes to give our loved ones permission to move on. And if you find yourself in a situation like that, call on Archangel Azrael, because he can come in and help your loved one cross over and let go. Because I feel like a lot of people are afraid to let go, unsure of what's going on in the next life and unsure of what will happen if they leave everyone behind. So that's comforting to know you can call on him for that. The other thing that you can call on him for is if you feel like you may have entities in your home or, wherever. Sometimes there are what we call earthbound spirits, and it's people who have crossed over, but for one reason or another, they haven't totally crossed over. And so, of course, a lot of people refer to these as ghosts, but they are spirits who, and I think for a lot of them, it comes down to just not realizing what's happened and that they're gone and that they need to cross over, or being afraid of crossing over because they're afraid of something they did. One of my mentors, Julia Treat, she talks about how she helped a family. They had a ghost or an entity in their home. And so she did a house clearing for them. And it was a young boy who had committed suicide, I believe. And so he was afraid of crossing over because he was afraid of going to hell. He was afraid of what was going to happen. So she called in, the angels to come and get him and helped him to understand that, that wasn't going to be what happened to him, that, he's not going to hell, that God is going to receive him and with open arms, and he's just will be shown how he could have done things better in his life. So I think a lot of earthbound spirits get stuck here too because they're afraid of what happens when you cross over, which is really sad when you think about that. It's really sad that people would be afraid to cross over. But I get it. We teach so many things that, you're going to go to hell, fire and brimstone and all of that. And that isn't what happens. It's really not. I think that the hell that we all think of really happens more here on earth than it does even on the other side. It's not like you never have to pay for what you do here, but it's not like what we think it is. It's not what we were taught. So if you find that you have earthbound spirits in your home or somewhere and you're trying to get them to cross over, you can call on Archangel Azrael to help you. And he appears as a golden white light. So what you can do is imagine him, call on him, and then imagine him surrounding this entity with his golden white light. But there's other ways that he can also help you besides just helping earthbound spirits or people on hospice, besides just helping them to cross over. He can also transmute emotional pain for you into light. So if you've been disappointed or sad or you're grieving, you can visualize the golden colored light of Azrael and ask to be shown a different perspective on the situation. And he will often show you more positive images and thoughts to help you see the situation in a new light. You can also get ideas or resources or tools to help you transcend those emotions. So if you call on him, not only will he fill you with positive images, and he can also bring you people and tools to help you move through your grief a little easier. Azrael reminds us that God light is within each of us. So you will receive wisdom from Azrael inside yourself when you meditate, or coming from within the spark inside someone else. You can call on him to help you with grief. If you're burdened with sorrow and loss, if you're in need of comfort to get past the pain you've experienced, call on Azrael. Another thing he can do is to transform people and situations around you into light. So if you find that you're having difficulty with people around you, and it's hard to get along with those people, or you just feel like they're very negative, you can visualize and call on Azrael to go to those people or to go to those situations where it would be best served if their energy was raised. So you can call on him to help transmute that negative energy into an energy of love and light and higher energy. Also, if you're feeling like you're scattered everywhere, or if you're trying to work on a particular task and you're having trouble committing to it or completing it, you can call on Archangel Azrael for that too. Because sometimes when we feel blocked, it's really just our ego that's blocking us. And what he can do is to transmute that ego, transmute that lower energy into more positive and higher energy. And then that helps us to be able to focus. He can also help you to focus on forward momentum. If you've just come out of the dark night of the soul, and I know that many of you have, you can call on Azrael to prevent you from spending too much time focusing on things you don't want. And he can help you to point you in the right direction of your path. So sort of like pointing you to the North Star, he can help point you to the light at the end of the tunnel for your spiritual transformation. Because you know, when you come out of the dark night of the soul, it can be very frustrating and you just feel lost. You can call on Archangel Azrael to point you in the right direction and to show you what you need to do to move forward on your journey. So he's great when you want to ascend to the next level in your life. He helps you to surrender to your purpose. And, you know, you may have found that you know you're not on the right path, you know you're not doing the right thing career-wise. If you're having difficulty in that area, call on Archangel Azrael, because again, he can be like the North Star, pointing you in the right direction and helping to support you. You know, he can kind of be, he's the light, basically. He's transmuting all darkness to light, so that can occur in many different ways. So I think that's a really good archangel to know, especially if you are in a place in your life where you're experiencing a lot of darkness and grief. So call on Archangel Azrael and just envision his light coming in. It's like a creamy white light. And the crystal you can use if you want to work with him too is yellow calcite. All right, and so the last archangel we're going to talk about today is Archangel Chamuel. It's Chamuel. I say that because you wouldn't think that's how you would pronounce it, but it is. Archangel Chamuel is the one who sees God, and he sees the connection between everyone and everything. His mission is to help individuals attain inner peace, even during turbulent times. So he would be a good archangel to call on now. And similarly to Saint Anthony in Catholicism, Archangel Chamuel also helps fulfill the role of reuniting us with missing items. So if you're missing something in your house, you can also call on Archangel Chamuel. Now, another way that you can work with him, because Archangel Chamuel is the archangel of protection, comfort, love, peace, and compassion. You can call on him when you're traveling. He's a good archangel to call on if you have to travel. And let's say it's going to be a long trip. You can call on him. And I have learned the hard way that you should always call on your archangels before you travel. I remember one year I took students to Europe and everything that could possibly go wrong on the trip started going wrong. I mean, it was crazy. Like, we got to the airport in St. Louis and the security gate closed because there was a bomb threat and they brought in dogs. And so we were late getting to our gate and we were kind of already a little panicked. Then our flight got delayed and they thought we were going to miss our connecting flight. So we had so many different kind of panics. Well, we made it. But then on that same trip, our bus broke down on the Autobahn. And so we had to sit in the hot sun for like an hour and a half waiting for another bus. We got a new bus, and then that bus driver was not familiar with the city of Munich and ended up hitting a motorcyclist. And so we had to take the subway back. it was just crazy. It was like one thing after another. And so my students, it was really funny. We saw a church. We were in Vienna, and there was a church, and in it said, place your prayer requests in here. And my student said, I'm placing a prayer request for travel. We need God on our side. It was so funny but cute. So each and every one of those students wrote a prayer request and donated money and put it in the box. And we all said, we really need to be protected for the rest of our trip. And, like we had two things. We had a smooth trip for the rest of it. There was not one single problem. And then we were on the highway and we were driving and we passed a church and my student took a picture and there was like a beautiful light-colored ring around the steeple of the church. It was just amazing. We're like, oh my gosh, it's a sign. Everything's going to be okay. But really, it's always a good idea to call on your archangels before you travel because you can prevent so much headache from doing that. So Archangel Chamuel is a good archangel to call on. Also, if you're looking for comfort, Archangel Chamuel is a good archangel to call on because he brings in inner peace. And he's all about divine love and peace. He's here to help you to ease your tension, to alleviate your burdens. So there really are several archangels you can call on if you're suffering, if you feel like, if you have a heavy emotional burden or you're grieving. So you could call on both Azrael and Chamuel. He may wrap you up in a warm, comforting orb of light to dissolve any lower vibrational energies and to realign your vibration. He also offers powerful psychic and spiritual protection and can help you, again, healing emotional pain and sadness, and can bring positive change into any area of your life. And now I've always heard this, but I was also reading about this too. Chamuel is also known to offer relationship support. So Chamuel can help you attract friends and can help you meet your soulmate. Or if you're in a current relationship and it's not going so well, you can call on Archangel Chamuel to help you raise the vibration of that relationship. And again, he's willing to help, but you have to ask. So if you're experiencing challenges in your career, in your family or relationships, ask Chamuel to release the energy of pain and sorrow and to realign you with divine love, peace, and joy. And he can easily help you create this energetic shift. And you can feel a ripple of positive energy flow throughout you in any experience you're asking Chamuel to assist in. And there's no, special ceremony or anything that you have to do in order to work with any of these angels. You just have to think or say out loud, please assist me. Archangel Chamuel, please assist me in this area of my life. And when you ask, you'll feel a peaceful, calm, and comforting presence that comes in. So I love that. I love that, all of these archangels you can call on at any time. Now, you may sense or see a pale green color when you work with Chamuel, and the crystal that you can use to work with him is fluorite. And Chamuel, I've often heard people, I think it was Bradley Valentine, I was reading his book, and he was talking about how Archangel Chamuel, you can call him in to help you align yourself with your dream job, and you can help him to call in your soulmate. You can call on Archangel Chamuel to help align you with your soulmate, to bring your soulmate in. So I love that. I think that's so great. Now there are so many more archangels. I believe there are 15 in total, and that was just 3. So I will be talking more about the other archangels you can work with, as well as some of the ascended masters. So be listening for that. And I know that one of the listeners who reached out to me said that, she was having trouble keeping the faith and feeling peace and calm at this time. So I would highly, highly recommend that you do a meditation and call on Archangel Azrael and Chamuel and even Ariel, because Ariel can help ground you emotionally. She can balance you. So I would call on all of those archangels to come in and help you during this time, especially this time of quarantine, because it is really, really frustrating for a lot of people right now. A lot of people are scared at what they're seeing around them. And my message to you is don't allow fear to come in. Make sure that you're taking care of yourself and make sure you're doing what you need to do to stay balanced energetically and emotionally. And call on your angels to come in and help you because they want to. They want to help you, but you have to call on them. And when you start working with them, you will definitely see amazing things happening in your life. So there's no particular prayer you have to say, okay? Just use your own words and say what comes to you and call on your team because they love working with you, they love helping you, and they will be there for you. I promise. And you're going to be amazed when you work with them at how things in your life shift. All right, and speaking of shifting, I pulled a card for you today from my Kuan Yin Oracle deck by Alana Fairchild. Kuan Yin will be another Ascended Master that I'll be talking about, and I know I have done a podcast about her before, but again, we always just need that reminder of how we can work with the different Ascended Masters and Archangels. So your card from this Kuan Yin deck is the Book of Changes. Just like a beautiful but unusual melody, the divine plan is unfolding through your life. Although it isn't always predictable, Kuan Yin is guiding you in the right direction. Even if you do not fully understand what is happening in your life right now, allow Kuan Yin to bless you with trust in the unfolding of your own divine path. I love that. I know I've worked with so many people lately who are going through huge shifts, huge transformational shifts, and when you're going through that process, I know it can feel very, very uncomfortable and it can be painful because a lot of the shifting we're doing is uncovering old emotional wounding and old behavior patterns that are no longer serving us. And we're getting rid of those and we're transmuting those. So again, Archangel Azrael would be a good archangel to call on as you're doing that because we're transmuting that pain into something beautiful that helps us toward our purpose. So be patient and gentle with yourself as you go through this transformation and know that I am always here for you. And if you ever need anything, just reach out. I want to thank you guys so much for listening today. As always, if you like this podcast, please subscribe. Please share it with others. Please leave me a review from wherever you're listening because that helps me so much. And I appreciate all of you who have done that. I really do. I read each and every review and I do take everything you say into consideration because I am always working to be the best version of myself. And I know that you are too. So I want to thank you for always helping me to grow and to learn. If you would like to work with me, you can go to my website, melissaoatman.com. There you will see all of the services that I offer. You can purchase a session there. When you're ready to book, you just contact me and we will set up your session. All of my sessions are done online through Zoom. Also, if you want to get in on my program, You Are Lovable, the 2-week online self-love course, you can still get in on that. It starts Monday, April 20th. If you are a subscriber to my website, you also received a coupon code for $20 off. This course is going to be amazing. If you've ever suffered from low self-esteem, low self-worth, or had trouble with boundaries with other people, if you let others walk all over you, this is going to be the course for you because in it, we are going to talk about how to set healthy boundaries, how not to deal with your problems emotionally, how to love yourself, including your body more, all the things that we really, really need, and how to forgive others. So please sign up. You can enroll on my website, and you will be then added to my Facebook page. We have a Facebook page for the class, and then the course is all online through Google Classroom. You will do the lessons daily, and we will meet once a week. So probably on Thursday, we will meet for an hour, and you will get group coaching from me too. And normally a private coaching session with me is $60 an hour. So you get the coaching, 2 sessions, plus the online course, which is yours to keep forever. and the Facebook group where you can use the opportunity to communicate with others in your class and to share your thoughts and ideas and ask questions. And it's only $100. And then if you are a subscriber to my website, you get that coupon code, you get $20 off. So it is a deal. Get in on this while you can. It is only going to help you shift into the most beautiful butterfly. You are going to be living your absolute best life. So don't wait, enroll today. And if you have questions, you can always reach out to me. Once again, thank you so much for joining me. Don't forget to follow me on social media. All of my contact information is in the description to the podcast. I love you guys so much, and I hope you have a beautiful day. I will talk to you again soon. Bye, guys.